Hello, and welcome to Husky Huddle. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. With me, as always, the icon, legendary voice of the Huskies, the best of the best, Joe D'Ambrosia. Joe, great to see you as always.
Good morning. Third time this week. It's awesome.
I know. I was thinking that.
No,
Yeah.
it's all good. It's all good, Stevie.
Yeah, so we got a big week. We're going in. Well, not really a big week, but we hope to keep things rolling as is. We coming off a big win against Boston College. We need to keep it going against Rice and not have a letdown, so to speak, like we did against Delaware, even though Delaware was very good. I was looking at Rice, and they are a team that, we should be able to go down there and take care of business of. I was looking at some of their statistics, and, we have a lot of advantages against them. I mean, they're primarily a rushing team. That's the only thing that scares me is, we have somewhat struggled to stop the run. They have 1,500 yards rushing on the year as a team. They have three pretty good backs. And one of them, I believe, is it's not their quarterback. Okay, yeah. One of them is really good. So going into it,
Jackson kid's very good.
Yes. Quentin Jackson's very good.
And Alexander averages almost 6 yards a carry.
Yes, and that's what scares me. I
think you're right. I think there's two things that UConn needs to be concerned about. One, you addressed is a letdown, which would be natural against Boston College. But I think the fact that the coach tried to play down beating BC is just another game.
He did.
Helps in that regard, even though the kids aren't dumb. Kids know BC was a big game. And the other thing is, you're playing a team that can run the ball a little bit. They've got the Thompson kid is electric. The Jackson kid is electric. He took a kickoff back 100 yards against UConn last year, so you got to be worried about that. But they don't throw the ball. They're next to last in the country in passing efficiency. Only Army is worse, and Army never puts the ball up in the air.
Yep. And so FBS.
I would think Matt Brock's strategy tomorrow is load the box and say, "Here, beat me. See if you can beat me on the ground." But having said that, I would think UConn should go down there and just have it as a business trip. Just go down there and go to their strengths. And I would think, looking at all the numbers and crunching the numbers, this should be easily a double-digit win for UConn.
Coach Schumann, great to see you.
Hey, good to see you.
It's nice to know that you're working to become a better person.
Yeah, I'm working on it. That's the next step for you, Steve.
So
that's your next step.
We were talking about the Rice game.
Yes.
And Rice has struggled really offensively. They have only scored 20 points or more once this season, I believe. But I was telling Joe the thing that scares me is they run the ball. They run the ball fairly well. We have struggled at times to stop the run. But in the second half against BC, we kind of shored things up and we were much better. But I thought Joe's analysis of load the box, make them throw the ball. They're second lowest in FBS as far as passing efficiency and passing offense. Make them beat us throwing the ball. And I think if we do that, that we absolutely can go down there. And Joe said the same thing, make it a business trip, go down there, do what we're supposed to do, come back with a win.
Yeah, and they're what, an option based team, right? They run a lot of option, Rice, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they had. I had not watched
Very
a
run
ton of them.
heavy. I think they run a lot of option.
Right.
I mean, their head coach comes from Davidson, I think, and he runs a lot of that was what he kind of ran there. Got it. Yes, Scott Abel. Yep. So yeah, I'm correct. I think that, listen, they're not really a huge threat. I don't think they have a ton of athletes. The run thing, I guess, could be concerning, but if they're one dimensional, that's a lot easier to focus on than a team that runs really well but can also throw, which are some of the teams that we had a little more difficulty with. I don't think that's the case as well from Rice. I think they're at, what are they averaging, like 19 points a game, I think it is.
Yeah, they've only scored more than 20 points once this season.
They're giving up
No, 3 times. 3 times.
Oh, it's 3 times. Okay.
And yeah, they're averaging 19.4 points a game, which is 119th out of 136 teams,
okay.
and they're giving up 27.1 points per game, 91st out of 136. This is a team that gives up a lot of points, which plays in our favor, I think. I would be shocked. Well, let's put it like this. Hopefully there's not a letdown after we played Boston College and had such a big win. That would be my, I think, concern, that we come out and we're better than this team, and somehow this team hangs around for longer than they should. They control the clock running the ball. If we're able to handle them, put points up right away on this team, they're done. They're a run heavy team. They have to have a lead.
Exactly. If we get a lead early on them and they're playing from behind, they're not a team that can come from behind and score points with the offense they run. And their leading receiver has 24 catches on the year. 24 and 21 are their 2 top receivers. So they definitely struggle passing the ball, and that can work to our advantage. And I agree with Joe. Load it up in the box, force them to throw the ball, shut down the run. As long as we play, assignment football against an option team, that'll make all the difference in the world. And I was trying to look and see, because I didn't see their quarterback.
Yeah, he's a dual threat guy.
He's number 3. He's number 3 rushing. Okay.
Yeah, he's a dual threat. Right. He's a dual threat guy,
and that's
what he does.
Yeah.
Their best player on defense is Andrew Aw, who's averaging a ton of tackles per game. Their best DB is a decent player. He's a senior. I don't think he can cover
Skylar.
Our best player, Skylar Bell, and I think size-wise at tight end, we're too big.
We are.
Well, we don't want to throw the ball to Bell that much. Remember.
Thanks, Joe.
No,
thank you, Joe.
Why get him 15 touches when we can only get him 5?
Yeah. Let's limit what we do with them. Yeah, let's.
That was not one of your finer. That was not one of your finer moments, Stevie.
Well, I've had plenty of memorable moments, so that's just one at the top of the list right there. Let's not get our best receiver.
I also think what you want to do is get a big lead and get your good guys out of there.
Yes.
Get Piano out of there. Get Bell out of there. Get Edwards out of there. Try to cruise. Get there and get a lead and cruise, and then look ahead to the rest of the season.
Yes, absolutely. And I'd like to see if, I haven't heard anything on Mel Brown. I'd like to see his status, if he's a week or 2 away from coming back.
You know when you'll find out?
When he steps
when
he's
on the field. Nobody's giving any secrets away. You're in counter espionage, and it's not just UConn that does that, but you're not. Nobody's gonna learn.
No, I know. And we've been fine without him. And Cam's been running hard. Cam's been running hurt, and he has picked up the slack. Victor Rosa has done well when he's been in there, catching the ball out of the backfield. I think they can use him more in the running game. But, this is a game where we should be able to establish our dominance, take advantage of a team that we are better than, and just not have any drama, come out and win. That's what I would like to see.
I think you will see that.
I think we will too. I think we will too.
I agree. The last thing you want to do against this team is be life or death in the fourth quarter.
There was a fantastic article that came out about the offensive coordinator today in the I think it was today or yesterday.
Was it really?
On the Hartford Current.
Yeah.
About Gordon Samus and
Gordy,
how,
okay.
And about Jim Mora talks about how basically he's an offensive whiz and has continued to adapt the offense to really flies in the face of everything you've ever said, Steve Cully, about the offense. But yeah, it was a really good article. It talks about his his background, his experience, and how he's adapted the offense and continues to adapt it. So, comments, Steve.
Dave, I would just like to say, if he has adapted his offense,
continuing to adapt his offense to who they play against.
What is our number one run play, Dave?
Stretch.
Yeah, exactly. And what is our number one run play for yards per loss? The plays that we've had the most lost yardage on.
I'm not sure. I'm guessing you're going to say stretch, though.
Stretch, yes.
What has been the biggest play gains from our offense in the run game?
Correct, but stretch. That is because he has made. I told you I gave him credit because he made adjustments to it, and he ran it a little bit more out of pistol, and he ran it with a lead blocker, and he gave some different looks to it, which I think absolutely helped. I think that he did a great job adding to the play action game, where it wasn't as much with the nakeds and the boots and getting Joe out on the edge throwing, where it was keeping him in the pocket and throwing home runs downfield. That's where he hit Juice Vereen last week against BC for that big touchdown. I do think he has adapted. I do think he's done a much better job this season than last season. I love the way that he's used guys like John Nider. I love the way that he's used Juice Vereen. He's found different ways to give Skylar Bell the ball. He's getting him the ball in space, even with Mel Brown going down. He's gotten other players involved. Even the tight ends. Alex Hunnig had a touchdown catch. So yeah, I agree with that. I agree. He has done a good job adapting and adjusting. And I just, like I said, my only complaint would be I'd like to see a little bit more of an inside run game, just because I think we have a physical, mauling offensive line that could run some power, that could run some counter. And that's my only complaint. But
you sound very old school.
No. It's just one or the other. It's just if he added one gap scheme in, I think it would help us. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Cam's averaging close to 6 yards a carry. You can't complain with that.
Can't complain on that.
So no, you can't. And what I also love is he has allowed Joe to run the ball. Once he allowed Joe Figiano to run the ball,
I agree.
That changed the entire dynamic.
I brought that up a few weeks ago as a way to keep them honest, and I think that's part of the stretch play. Although at a pistol, it's not as necessary. But Listen, to me,
slowed the backside pursuit down.
Yeah. I mean, to me, they're leveraging their two best players and three best players: their quarterback, their receiver, and their running back. And that's enough to win you ball games. And they're getting the other guys involved in the games that can have an impact. Again, we have a plethora of riches on offense for the level that we play at.
We do.
So, much more so than a lot of teams. So I think that's a big part. I mean, we're averaging 6.5 yards per play, which is 17 nationally.
Yeah. And Joe's the only quarterback in the country who hasn't thrown an interception.
Right. Yeah.
So I give him a ton of credit for that. I give him a ton of credit for his leadership ability. He's definitely had some ice water in his veins in tough situations. He doesn't shy away from them. He makes the big plays. He makes the big throws. And I just see a little swagger and a little confidence with him. And that's good. That's good to see out of him. And I think the other players feed off of that. And offensively, I think we're great. I think we're fine. I'm concerned defensively because, especially the BC game, if you watched the first half, our D line was getting caved in. They were getting caved down. Turbo got hurt. BC went with the bigger back, and he was gashing us. And thankfully, we made some adjustments and shut him down the second half. But Joe, that's what concerns me. We watched the Delaware game, and Delaware was running the power ride, the power read play, which is really option football. That's my biggest concern.
Let me ease your concerns. In the CBS Sports Top 134, Rice is 107. UAB is 115. Air Force is 114.
Oh,
Florida
my God,
Atlantic
really?
is 106. UConn is 57th. The only team left who's above them, and it's not by much, is Duke, who's 43rd. There's no reason.
Is that total offense?
10-2. Huh?
Is that total offense or rushing offense?
No. You don't listen.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You don't listen. Which is fine. The CBS Sports rates every team in the country from 1 to 134.
Right, yes.
All right. So here's the UConn schedule for this year as of this past week. Syracuse was 70th. Delaware was 99th, so that's a bad loss. Ball State was 125. Buffalo was 104. FIU was 95. BC was 97. And then the teams coming up, which I gave you. So there's really, considering Duke's at home, there's no reason they can't go 10-2. None whatsoever.
No.
Provided,
which goes back to my 12-0 possibility was actually a few plays of possibly being close.
Yeah, you know what? Upon further review, yes.
It's only because the schedule is really, I mean, we're much better, obviously. But it's also the schedule makes it very favorable. You know what I mean? We definitely have to upgrade the schedule.
And Joe mentioned it's tougher for us to find games. It's tougher for us to get P4 games.
Great point.
Because, now the P4 is, I believe they're going to a 9-game conference schedule. So there really isn't a lot of room in there for non-conference games. It's going to be
here's the thing. If you're the type of team that would be calling UConn, okay, there's a possibility UConn can beat you.
Right.
So the last thing you want to do, if you were scoring, when would Cully light up a heater? It's 11:23. So if you took the over, although with the NBA betting probe, maybe I shouldn't do that. But anyways,
good point.
Type of teams that might want to schedule UConn, are teams that UConn can probably beat, so they're not going to be as anxious to schedule UConn. So it is going to be difficult, especially as an independent, to get a schedule. We got 6 games against decent teams and 6 games against teams like that you should beat.
So we have a question. So take UConn money line or spread?
I'm not touching betting questions.
Yeah, I don't even know what the spread is, but I mean I think UConn. I can't allegedly say anything, but UConn should take care of business. And thank you, Christy, for pointing it out.
Spread is 10.5.
Facts do matter.
UConn's a 10.5 point favorite.
Facts do matter. Miles Anderson says next year's schedule is loaded. I have to take a look at that. I didn't know next year's schedule was loaded. I know we have Syracuse. I didn't know who else we had, but we'll worry about that next year. We got to finish out this year strong. And very realistically, there is a chance that we do go 10-2. Joe, if we do go 10-2, where do you see us ending up as bowl-wise? Do you see us doing any better than the Fenway Bowl realistically, or we're going to probably be in that range? The Pinstripe
Okay, let
Bowl,
me interrupt. Let me interrupt you for a bulletin. Here's the schedule for next year. All right. Lafayette, Maryland, North Carolina, at Miami of Ohio, Syracuse, at Temple, UMass, at Air Force, at Duke, James Madison, at Old Dominion, and at Wyoming. I'm not calling that loaded.
Yeah, Miles, I'm not sure about that one.
Miles, with all due respect, you're a little off there, my boy.
Yeah, Old Dominion, because they upset Virginia Tech. I get it, but no, that's not loaded. We're opening up at Lafayette.
Now, look, one thing that's going to be difficult, and again, I'm doing something I hate doing, but I'm just going to do this.
I know.
Brought it up. The last 5 games, 4 of them are on the road, and you got to go to Air Force and to Wyoming. So those are not. That's not an easy end of the schedule.
No, that's not.
Schumann's asleep or he lost his internet connection.
No, he's looking. He's looking at the schedule. Wow, that's vicious. I didn't know if Wyoming was any good, but that is a long road to hoe at the end of the year for next season. I did also see that it was Joe Figiano. It was somebody else who was on another list. And I know
Parham got the Walter Camp Defensive Player of the Week. Only the second guy in UConn history to get it. It should have been 3, but Shu got screwed at one point. So it was C.O. Moore in 2010, and then Parham for his performance against BC.
Wow. Yeah, he did have a great game. I didn't know he got that. So is
Joe D, the only one I could have ever gotten when I had moved to linebacker was the final game of the year, okay, against UMass, where you might remember this. Shane Stafford went down and we were up 30 something. Yeah, I'm sure you called the game. We were up by 3 touchdowns, I think. And it happened to be my personal best game I had that year. I had like 12 tackles and like 3 for loss. And as the pass sailed for UMass scoring the touchdown to win, that was my only chance for defensive player in the Wayland of the week. That was the chance.
Oh,
that
wow.
went right out the window. Instead, it went to UMass's, I think, quarterback in that game for throwing or maybe the receiver. They had a great receiver. I can't remember his name. It was one of those two that got it.
14 tackles and 2 sacks. Wow, I didn't know that. Those are big numbers. Now, Joe, is the Walter Camp, is that offense, defense, special teams they hand out weekly?
I think it is.
Yeah,
I believe it is.
Okay. No, that's good. That's really good that he got
really good
nominated for that. And
of course.
Joe Figiano is on the Manning Award watch list, which I don't know what that means. Is the Manning Award for like the Walter Camp Award?
Quarterback.
No, it's quarterback.
Oh, okay. In the entire country.
I don't know if you knew, but Peyton Manning was a quarterback.
I knew that. I didn't know if it was the entire country or not. Okay. But yeah, I mean,
yes, it is.
Wow. Yeah, he's 18th in passing touchdowns. Wow. And 27th in points responsible, 13th in passing yards per game. Yeah, I mean, he has definitely made the difference, and we're lucky to have him. I just hope going down to Rice, I hope we defer, shut them down, get the ball back, get a lead early, just like Joe talked about, and they cannot play from behind. I think if we get the lead early, get up on them a touchdown or two, they don't score a ton of points. Their points came against Prairie View, Charlotte, and Louisiana. So I think we can.
I disagree with you, Stevie. If I'm on the road and I'm the better team, I'll take the ball and shove it down their throats right away.
Yeah.
I just looked up the game story. You guys gave up, I didn't remember this. You gave up 20 points in the final 8.5 minutes.
Yes. The game was over.
To you,
Shane went down. I don't know if you remember this, but Shane was lighting it up that game early on. I'm sure if you look at the stats, he was probably lighting it up. And I think Shane must have. I don't know. You might be able to see if you're pulling up. He must have got hurt in the third, maybe the end of the third period or something. And the backup. We didn't have Hoff was redshirting that year.
Oh, okay.
So he left with 7 minutes to go in the game.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. And then it was I remember this icy day. It was an icy day.
Yeah.
There wasn't many fans in the crowd either.
How about Mike Morelli missed a 21-yard field goal?
Morelli did?
Oh, really? I don't remember. So that would have. It wouldn't have mattered if we had just kicked that. Interesting.
Wow.
They scored on a punt return, I think.
Touchdowns. They scored on a punt return, right? A punt return late. I remember that. And then a pass at the end.
Yeah.
I think.
Was that
1 yard pass, a 67-yard pass punt return, and then the 20-yard pass to the tight end with 31 seconds to go.
Yep.
Was that 95?
96.
Okay, 96.
I'll tell you a fun fact. So I was the Sam linebacker, so I was at a strong side. So in our defense, the Sam linebacker would come out and for nickel situations. But the guy who was playing Will that day, I think Gooch Adams was starting, and something happened to Gooch during the game. And because Shem Allen was already out, and Gooch Adams was starting, he was playing well, and then something happened. He got hurt or something. And Sek Milich was forced to play Will, who I love, but didn't kind of make it all the way through at the end. And he didn't really know the Will coverage. So on that, I think it was a 4th down play. I had been covering the tight end in all the regular situations, the way that our defense was, and he really wasn't. He wasn't any. He didn't do anything. And then in Nichols, he called Nickel, and Vernon subbed me out, and I said, "Hey, do you want me to stay on? I'm not sure if Sek really understands the coverage. Come off, okay." I came off as soon as they dropped. As soon as he dropped, I knew we were in trouble. He did not get enough depth, and they threw it right there. It was one of these. It's one of those moments when you're as a player, you're thinking like, am I in some sort of simulation in life? You know what I mean? Like the thing that I was actually thinking could happen actually happened. And I remember Verm thinking, this is not a problem. This is not going to be a problem. Because, he was thinking the DBs, the safeties would be there and all that kind of stuff. But he threw the ball on the money in the ice, and it was a touchdown. That was the game, which was very depressing. Although at UConn, as back then in those days, you still end up having a good time, and you still went out to dinner with your parents and enjoyed it. So that's the only thing that was the salvation. And the food up there in Amherst, I think they let you go if you were. I think they let the seniors go home with their parents. I think Holtz did that.
Oh, right. Okay.
Just to get rid of us, by the way. Probably after blowing it, he probably said, just get these guys out of here. Don't come back on the bus, go with your parents. Probably, but anyway.
So Joe D, I will try to articulate my previous statement a little bit better. I do not want us to get the ball to Skylar Bell any less.
Okay.
I would like to see some of the other receivers get involved and have some more opportunities to have receptions.
Well, let me play devil's advocate here, Stevie. So if you still want to get Bell the ball as much as he gets it,
right,
and you want to get the other receivers more passes, does that mean you don't want to run as much?
I think, yes, I would take a little bit away from the running game just because Cam is the only running back that seems to be getting the majority of the carries. I don't have a problem with giving him a little bit less and throwing a little bit more. Correct. Yes.
Okay.
I would say that.
Right. Okay.
That's how I would do it. I just, John Nider, for the opportunities and the plays that he's in, he's got to have the highest efficiency ratio for the amount of times he's in and the receptions he has. I mean, 14 catches, he's averaging 18 yards of reception. I mean, God bless the kid. And then, Romello Murphy and Shamar Porter are the two guys who I think are also dynamic. And I just like to see them. I'd like to see them get, have a few more catches. And Skylar Bell, he's got 58 receptions on the year. I mean, he's almost doubled his total from last season. He's unbelievable. I don't think he'll hit 100.
How many games have we played? 7 or 8? 7?
We played 7. But I mean,
5 games left.
He's going to be close. He's probably going to be 80, 90.
40 catches. Yeah, I mean, he's been on fire. Yeah. I mean, he could have
15 a game like you had, whatever that. I don't know if you had 15, maybe 11 or whatever you had the other game. It's 11 a game.
He's been like 10 a game, I think, the last two or 3 games. Buffalo, I think, was the only one he did not. FIU he did, BC he did, and I believe Ball State he did. But
the numbers are like the days of the Matt DiGennaro high flying throwing a million passes days. Literally.
Well, I think that
that's when like Oz had like 1 year had 50 something. Alex Davis had like 70, and what the Didio had like, I don't know. He might have had I don't know. What do you have? 90, 80 or something?
Yeah, great. So here are Bell's games this year. 4 for 135 against Central.
Yeah.
11 for 105 against the Cuse. 7 for 92 against Delaware.
Yep.
14 for 113 against Ball State.
Wow.
The other guys caught 6 balls. 6 for 54 against Buffalo.
I was right there.
63 against FIU, and 10 for 125 against BC.
Amazing.
So I was wrong against FIU. But But yeah, I mean, even with him being the number one target and defenses keying off him, he's still making plays. He's still getting the ball, and he's still making a difference. But I also think Coach Gordy is having a lot more confidence in putting the ball in Joe Figliano's hands, which he may have been a little more conservative last year because he had, I believe, 1,600 yards passing and 20 touchdowns overall, and 5 of them came at the Merrimack game. So I think this year they're trusting him more. They're giving him more opportunities to throw the ball, and they're seeing more success from it. Especially, I mean, he's had some. So I think he's had a few 300-yard games this year, which I don't believe he had a lot of last season. And I think he's had 3 out of 7. Okay.
Delaware, FIU, and BC.
BC, right. So I think he's coming into his own. I love his leadership ability. I love that he's got ice water in his veins. That drive against Buffalo to go down and kick the game-winning field goal with I can't remember how many seconds were left. That was huge, and to me, that drive made him a made man. I really gravitated towards him after that drive, and that's where, you know, when the ball's in his hands, I have full trust in him because he makes good decisions. He doesn't turn the ball over, and he gets rid of it fairly fast. And now, Dave, he is looking for opportunities to run, which I think has made a big difference. He's taken off when he sees lanes, when he sees man coverage, and, you know, the linebackers and the DBs turning and running with the receivers, he'll take off and run. So I think that's helped him as well. And, you know, he's 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I mean, he's up there on the rushing list, even though it's not anything to write home about, but he's got 2 touchdowns. He's got a long of 38 yards. That was against Buffalo, I believe. And I truly see the best is yet to come. My only other concern with us is defensively, I'd love to see us force more turnovers. That is the one area defensively we have, you know, we struggle on third down, but we struggle to force turnovers. And I think if we can force turnovers, that will also make a difference and make us that complete team that can potentially, knock on wood, run the table and finish 10-2. Dave, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think we have a great chance for that. I mean, Duke's the only team that could step in the way in that.
Because I was looking at the turnovers.
I was just reading something while you. I was just reading something while you were going on about the turnovers. About Samus, and, you know, he wrote a whole clinic piece on UConn's quick game. It might be worth a look for you on why he runs the wide zone, and the idea of reading the end man. What we talked about earlier in the year, end man on the line of scrimmage. Either you bounce it, bang it, or bend it. It's really it's a concept with the zone that really gives a good back like Cam the opportunity to be really great. And
what's the difference between bounce and bend?
Bounces to the outside, so you bounce it to the outside. Bang it would be like if a guy if the end shows upfield, he just puts his foot in the ground and goes
north. What about bend though? I don't.
Bending it is if it's like it's like a slow plays you, or you're or if the guy shows slightly wide, you kind of it's big in the wing tee. You kind of like just bend your body up the field so there's not an actual cut. You know what I mean? So So it gives you, it's kind of like a semicircle almost, like a short semicircle. But for the back, you have to be a good, this I agree with Steve on, is that you have to be a really good back to be able to do that. Like NFL backs do it all the time. That's a big play it's probably the number one play in the NFL on the outside there is stretch. But you're talking about highly accomplished pro backs who've run the ball 9,000 times in their lives, right? So the fact that Cam's able to do it and really be successful and do it over and over and over again when everybody knows it's coming is really, really a tribute to him. I think that's what makes him a special back, is that he makes these guys wrong so often by his cuts. So
the only disagreement I would have is outside zone. I just don't believe that you can do all three of those things. I don't think you have the ability to bend it as much because the aiming point is so wide. I think you can bang it or you can bounce it. And that is the read of the
those are the two top things that are done. Absolutely.
Correct.
But a great back can bend it.
Correct. It's tougher because of the aiming point to really bend it.
You wouldn't run that style offense with Wilbur Gilliard, who is a power back who would slash. He's a power guy. He would slash. He would end up getting tackled in the backfield because of the speed element, of it, right? And you wouldn't run it with. I'm just thinking of the guys when I played Eddie Long, because he was a speed back. Eddie, you'd either want to get him you want to get him outside, or you want to get him downhill. You don't.
Well,
you don't want
your buddy Lenny would run it, right?
Well, buddy, I'm not sure, because by the time Lenny was playing more when I was not there yet. So when I was actually playing more, he was moved over to defense, I think, later on in his career. But I would say, so I don't know for sure. I only played with him the 1 year where I was a redshirt freshman, and I think it was really only spring ball maybe that he played a lot.
Who was that?
Lenny Dandridge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was the back before them, even though he was the same age. But then they moved him to DB, if I'm not mistaken. Well,
with Wilbur and Eddie, I mean, they were better backs than Lenny was.
Right. I think Lenny
they were both big. Eddie was big and could run. Wilbur was big and could rumble.
Wilbur was an amazing. His vision. He would see things, because he was not what you would call fast, but his vision was unbelievable.
Eddie was fast.
Eddie was a bullet.
Eddie was fast. That's why, and that was really the start of the tradition that became two running backs.
Yep.
When we were good, it was always two. It was like Todman and Brown.
Yep.
Todman and Andre
Dixon. Yep.
It was always two running backs.
No doubt. I think that was. It's funny because UConn was probably ahead of the curve on that, because that didn't become a thing till probably like almost the 2010s, right? That two backs became a thing, and UConn was doing that for almost 15, 20 years before that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that's why it's amazing how well Cam's been able to do, where he's really been the only guy for most of. I mean, he has obviously. Yeah. He's able to carry the load, because a lot of the backs today are used to more of the two back system. They are used to, I'm obviously not high school, but when you get to college, it's almost like they're expecting the split time, even if they're the starter, because they all put their hand up to get taken out after a long run. They all, it's just.
Cam never wants to come out.
Cam went through 3 straight games with 20 plus carries, and the last 3 games have been 15, 12, and 12. So his workload has gotten reduced a little bit in recent games. Yeah,
I agree, and I think it was I thought he had a pretty good first half against BC. He didn't get as many carries in the second half, if I'm correct in that assessment. I have to check. but that's when we started to throw the ball more.
Well, because the pass game was working so well.
Yes, it was.
They couldn't stop the pass game.
My question, I forgot to get an answer, Joe. If we are able to go 10-2, do you see us going to a bigger type of bowl game? Are we really kind of stuck in the Fenway pinstripe level type of bowl?
Well, I mean, a lot of it depends, Steve. If the other conference, if the 4 power conferences can fill up their bowl allotments. I mean,
right.
If they can, then no, we're stuck in secondary bowls.
Right.
But if like the Big Ten doesn't have enough teams, whatever the Power 4 conference is, then you could get to a better bowl. But I mean, I've seen, and again, this is an area you both know I despise, but I look at it because I'm an idiot. These bowl projections has us going to like Birmingham or Montgomery or someplace like that.
Well, do you think the 12 team
I know a good restaurant in Birmingham.
The 12 team playoff system will have an effect on it as well, or no? Not really.
Last year.
We didn't have 12 teams in the playoffs last year.
Sure we did.
This is the first year the NCAA. Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. No, you're right. You're right. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, you're right. It did not. You're right. Okay. No, I was just curious to see, because I know it was a big deal to go to the Fenway Bowl. I think we would obviously travel the best if we had to go to Birmingham. I'd like to see us stay in the Northeast if there was somewhere for us to go. But I mean, 10-2. I just hope that it gets us somewhere. Even 9-4 or whatever, 9-3, hopefully can get us somewhere that helps elevate us against an opponent that we can really take it to and show what we're made of. Because
now the CBS Bowl projections has us playing on December 16th.
Oh, good God! Really?
In the Salute to Veterans Bowl in Montgomery, Alabama, against Jacksonville State. Again,
I've been to Montgomery too.
I'm gonna cry.
That's where Martin Luther King marched, right? Yeah, I've been there. It's actually great downtown, but not a huge city. It's actually
it's not a destination place for fans to go to.
No, it's just not like there wasn't. I remember when I was there, it wasn't that many. It's like one of those cities they're trying to build up. That's probably why they have a bowl game, I'm assuming. It was very nice, but they're I don't remember that many like a ton of hotels. Yeah, I'm just thinking like a huge plethora of fans, but I don't know.
Our Batman Chris D has sources, and he says none of these projections had us in the Fenway Bowl at this time last year. So he says, listen to Chris D. We're going to the Pinstripe Bowl if we go 10-2. Facts matter, Cully. Chris D.
I like the Pinstripe Bowl.
I've been to the Pinstripe Bowl. The Pinstripe Bowl's great.
There. Yeah, we've been there, but
it's a bitch.
I just can't remember what the date is on it.
Is it
the only because the broadcast booths are in the end zone.
Oh. Yeah. God.
Yeah. So
wow.
Really?
Oh my
God.
Yeah. So you're looking. You're looking at the big board in center field, and basically calling the game off the scoreboard.
That's great, dude. We need a separate show called Joe D's Experiences.
Well, I'll tell you what, talking about when we were in Birmingham against South Carolina, beating that uppity group, it was the coldest, and we were inside the press box, but it was basically a cement block press box, and Kevin Nathan and I froze our asses off. I don't think I've ever been. I don't ever think I've been colder doing a football game.
What stadium did they host that game in? Where they have the Senior Bowl?
Legion Field,
right? Or they used to have this.
Is that where Stanford plays?
No, Sam. Think of Samford. No,
Sanford. Okay, Stanford. Sorry,
no,
Stanford, Connecticut. Sorry.
Sanford has their own stadium.
Yeah,
so I'm looking at the ESPN site.
Nice school, by the way.
One of the ESPN guys has UConn playing in the Salute the Veteran Bowl against Coastal Carolina, who UConn lost to in a bowl game a couple years ago.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
and then another one, Mark Schleback. I'm looking for him, and I'm still looking, and I must admit. Oh, he's got us. Oh, just as good. How about this? How about this one? He's got us in Birmingham against Florida State.
Oh, really?
See, I think that would be tasty.
I would do that. I would do that. I would do that. I would do that. I hope BC. I hope Florida State becomes bowl eligible. I hope they turn it around. But it is prediction time. So Dave, we'll let you go first. UConn at Rice. We are favored.
UConn 42-14.
42. Oh, you're taking a page out of my book. Okay. I am gonna go 38-21 UConn. And Joe Figiano is gonna throw for back-to-back 300-yard games. And Joe D, the prognosticator of prognosticators. What do you got for us?
ESPN is, let me just address Chris D here. ESPN is not filled with Syracuse grads who hate UConn. So just relax on that. I think UConn in a cakewalk. I think UConn 45, Rice 10.
At least he said Arnold Dean and Joe D forever. Yeah.
I think 45-10. I think this team is on a mission. I think I agree with you, Steve. I think Fignano has a big game. I think we shut down their rushing attack, and I think we see a lot of the second and third teamers in the fourth quarter.
All right. Well, another banner episode of Husky Huddle, and we are all thinking very positive. We are all very happy with our victory last week against BC, and we hope to keep the momentum rolling against Rice this week, a long trip down to Texas, but we're going to come back with a victory. I can feel it in my bones. So for Coach Schumann, who's working to become a better person.
Hey, wait a minute. Before we end the show, we didn't address the biggest football game this weekend.
The Giants?
Schumann's playoff game.
Yes.
I'm so championship.
I am so pumped for this one.
I stay out of predictions on that stuff.
I'm so pumped.
You know what? You're like Herb Street when he's calling a game. You can't do a prediction.
No,
so give us the particulars. What age group? Who are you playing? Where is it? What's your biggest concern?
I can give you that.
I could tell you this. It's 10U, and which is great. They believe it or not, even though it's the divisional championship, it's actually our
crosstown rivals.
Crosstown rival, even though I live on the town of the crosstown rival. So
who are the
that's a whole different scenario. I went over.
Who are the two teams who are playing?
It's Middletown versus River Plaza, which is also part of Middletown.
So are you Middletown?
Yes.
So what's funny is they've
already played each other twice.
Yeah, I think we're the two best teams in the whole, like, this conference is like statewide. We're probably, I would say we're the two best teams probably in it. But we're playing in the divisional championship, and then the winner goes on to which is like the state kind of championship. So, but it's fun because it's cross town that actually ends up meeting, and out of all this, so it's which is what makes it fun. What is the concern? They run the ball really well. They run the ball really well.
What do you do particularly well?
I would say that we're probably a little more balanced, but we have a lot of athletes. They have a ginormous line. That's kind of the battle. So they have a ginormous line, and for 10 years old, just to give you an idea.
They do. I've seen their whole film.
They probably average about 150 on the line for 10-year-olds. But their biggest guy is 195 pounds, and he's very good.
Holy Jesus!
And he's very good.
Yeah.
His father played. Yeah. His father's a great guy. I coach basketball with him. So, but his father is like a trainer and trains like lineman. He played at Montclair State.
Are you the Middletown Eagles?
Yes.
Hugh, I hate to say this. Yeah. And I love you like a brother. I can't root for anybody named Eagles.
A true Giants fan has spoken.
But in this case, I feel an upset. I give you Middletown Eagles 18, River Plaza 12.
We'll take it.
It's tough to beat a team 3 times in a row. I mean, come on.
That's nice.
Yeah, but see, Steve, that's one of great sports fallacies. Because if you're better than the team the first 2 times,
that's true.
You're still better than him the third time.
That's true.
Well, you're actually right a lot of times on it. So last year we lost to a team 3 times, and the last 2 times we were up at halftime. But this year we knocked them out of the playoffs, that same team. Because, of course, at this age, it's just mostly the same group of kids every year. You pick up a couple, you lose a couple. But it's the same group of kids that go up every year. But when we beat that team, that was a huge deal because they had beaten us 4 times in a row over the last 2 years. So
1:30 at Asbury Park High School.
Asbury Park, baby. Asbury Park.
I noticed how you dominate the back row of the picture.
Oh yeah. I'm still a pretty large guy.
Well, he's down to
I'm not 235 anymore, Joe D. I'm not 235 anymore. Let's put it like that.
He's down to 260 now. He's down to 260. So he's getting there. He's getting there.
Well, yeah. I will root for the Eagles this week.
I appreciate it. That's great.
I will root for the Eagles.
Any good karma will help.
You and I should.
What perfect weather conditions?
Oh, you know what's fun about living down here, right by the. And you'll appreciate it, Joe. I'm very close to the beach. I live like, I don't know if you're familiar with the Jersey Shore, but like.
Not very, no.
Yeah, I'm like 10 minutes. We have a beach in our town. We have beaches in our town, actually.
Okay.
It's just I live on the other side of town. But I mean, literally 10 minutes away, you like Asbury Park and Long Branch and all those Manistee, they're 10 minutes away. So,
well, good luck to one team of Eagles on Sunday, not the other.
I know, the Giants, baby. Can the Giants pull out another one?
I don't like it.
I think Sirianni will step on their throat if he has.
Yeah.
Dave, this is what I was thinking. Maybe you and we should have the biggest loser competition, since we're both trying to lose weight. We should do the biggest loser.
I have a head start. I'm down 20 plus pounds.
Yeah, I am too. That's why I think
you are too.
Yeah,
I think I can maybe get down. another 25, I think, with if I go at the pace I'm going. I think I can get down. Beyond that might be might be difficult, but I can get down to another 25. I think. I don't know. I don't know what you think you can get down, but
I probably can't. But we got to let Joe D go. Great episode. Great Husky Huddle. Thank you, Joe D.
Eagles.
The legend, the voice of the Huskies, the best of the best.
The best.
Coach Schumann, he's becoming a better person. And I'm the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges, throw them right back at life.